What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to this episode of the Rakish Rovers. My name's Tom Quinn, resident dungeon master here at Modern Myth, and as always, I'm joined by the Rovers themselves.
Hi, guys.
Hello there.
Hi.
Hi.
That's Josh, aka Cal.
Thanks, Tom.
Beyond that, I think we could just roll straight on into it. Coming off of last episode, having more than just survived, having thrived, having lived their best life in the
Every day, son. Every
Roper Cavern, and fending off some
Not all of us.
some carrion
It's fine.
crawlers.
It's fine.
They finally
Delicious.
came to lay eyes, or arcane eyes, as it were, or singular, on some of the nests that they've been tracking down, only to realize that they are quite a ways higher in elevation, and it's going to take some doing to get up to them. Returning to the Tempest and filling in Captain Versailles, the Rovers switch gears slightly with the idea that potentially they could make contact with the local tribe, the Iluka, in an attempt to maybe garner some more information about the canyon, or even begin to broker a diplomatic relationship. And that is where we will pick up. The night has carried on. Dinner has transpired, and watches have begun to carry out, albeit these watches now are being carried out from, for the most part, below deck. More of an audible watch. And with that, wherever you guys choose to find yourself on deck, the world is yours.
What did you make?
Let me think about it, because how to make bug appetizing is going to take a second.
Aster just eats raw grain.
just stuff some steel cut oats into your mouth. It's like eating grape nuts.
I love grape
Without
nuts.
milk.
I'm the only
Yeah, you
person
do.
in this. You know what I love grape nuts with? Tang. Tang and grape nuts.
Get the fuck away from my
Oh
table.
my god.
Sorry.
Oh my god.
All right.
You're welcome, Internet.
If you made
For
it
those
this,
of you who
if you made
remember
it this
grape-
far, put tang and grape nuts.
Best
Down in-
flavor combination.
Some tang nuts for
Oh
you.
my
no.
dang nuts.
I'll head below deck.
Everyone's below deck at this point.
Oh, okay.
You can see that Slate, who is currently on watch, he's basically sitting at the companionway entrance. Everything has been buttoned down. The companionway doors lie open, but he's got substantial cover from where he's at, and occasionally he will poke his head up, and there are some mirrored lanterns that you can kind of guide a little more like a spotlight. And that's the best that he's got. Occasionally he'll go out kind of tracing there's some immediate ledges, and just doing a real quick trace to see if there's any sign of the glare of wyvern eyes.
Is it essentially early evening or well into the evening?
It's post dinner time at this point. Everyone's begun settling in. Those who aren't on watch are likely catching some shut eye because it's about to be go time for a lot of people, but it's not late at night by any means. So dinner's just recently wrapped up.
I think I want to check on our survivor. See how he's faring.
I'll be down in a bit. I want to stay up here for some fresh air.
Okay, I'm gonna go see if he's still alive.
Okay. Heading below deck, you find both Filion and the emaciated man on the starboard hold, the opposite side from where your guys' bunks are set up, and you can actually see that there is an additional holding cells. These ones have not been retrofitted, and sitting still, really barely moving at this point, but you can still hear kind of the low murmur and mumble coming out of the emaciated man, and Filion, who is sitting there as you as you come down, kind of looks up as you turn the corner, and he just kind of gestures in your direction.
Any change?
I think he's degraded some, yes, but he still won't eat. He won't drink. And
Has he said anything?
incoherent babble, the like, which when you returned him back to the vessel, and you can see that the man kind of his head coming up slightly and kind of looking in your direction.
Can I take his hand and
Yeah, his hand kind of reaches out in
Yeah.
your direction slightly, and it's like borderline skeletal. I mean, there's every ridge of every knuckle kind of is almost pushing its way through the skin. It's so tight, and you can see it kind of smiles softly as his head kind of lowers again. Okay. I think it's fair to say that I'd be surprised next day or so if he doesn't eat. At this point, even if he does, there's only so much we can do.
Can Ollie, he's not in that form. I guess I'll spend an hour and turn Ollie back into a parrot so he can smell the guy, see if there's any strange odors or anything.
Okay.
Like disease of some sort.
As you, you're doing this down in that hold area. Okay. Sitting down and beginning to move through your ritual, you watch as Ollie, you can tell, kind of a little reluctant to relinquish his current form,
It's not forever.
but also, he it's kind of like coming home. He's been a ferret for so long that you could see that. I mean, he clearly has an idea of what's transpiring as kind of the arcane energy begins swirling around him and his form begins to change. As you're going through that ritual, Katerina or Kel, where are you guys at?
Are you above deck or are you below?
I was below, but I was gonna go. He's assuming he watches you go up, and as he finishes tidying away dinner, which I decided was beer battered.
Carrying and chips.
Carrying and chips.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty good.
With a really good sauce. Like it's a sauce.
It's
in
all
there.
about the
It's already
sauce.
been consumed, but just give me a die 20. I don't need anything fancy. I just want to get an idea where we're at on that.
15-ish.
Yeah.
It was okay.
Yeah,
It wasn't like
it was
carrying.
more than okay. I mean,
Yeah.
it was 15 is more than okay for sure.
All right.
No, I think most people who don't realize what they were eating would happily eat it again. Some even who do realize what they were eating would happily eat it again.
As he throws this, he's clothed. I'll make that clear because sometimes when Kel cooks, he gets naked, and he'll
Every time.
as he watches.
Yeah, sometimes my ass.
Yeah, okay, every time. But he's wearing clothes. And as he watches Cat, he'll follow suit.
You guys are going up above deck? Okay. As you make your way up there, passing Slade. You're going above deck. Keep your fucking heads on.
Thanks,
Captain
Slade.
doesn't want anyone, but sometimes we need a little space.
I'm pretty sure this note's gonna happen. But all right. Well, he says that to you or as you say to both of us.
Just as you guys are in
All right.
in passing, he basically gives you a gentle reminder that you're not supposed to be up there, but he's not going to say anything
Gotcha.
about it. So, and you can see he's snuck an extra battered fillet. You can see he's kind of
Yeah,
he's kind of chewing on it. It's a
little chewy, but
it's
the
got,
sauce.
yeah, there's a chewiness to it. That's not a bad thing. It's just is what it is. As you break out on, just as you're about to take those last steps, hey, you want to do a sweet?
Yeah, might as well we're up there. Yes, sir.
Hands you the lantern, and Just put eyes on before you come back down.
Will do. And as they start going up, he will Cal will cast Bless on both Cat and himself.
Okay. Stepping up onto deck.
Take a quick walk with me. Not too far.
You can take as long as a walk as we need.
I mean, we did fight a tentacled creature thing.
Yeah. The airship did not go as planned, I'll admit, but overall, a successful day, I feel.
Are you guys departing the vessel itself?
Yeah, my ultimate goal was to
Okay.
Where are we heading?
not too far, but just kind of along the open cavern. Not into the cavern, but along the walls there. Just
Down the gangway, and you
Yeah.
guys find yourself on
just
the
to get
landing.
some space from the boat.
I almost want to, at this point, close the lantern so we're
Yeah.
not. Yeah, I'll close the lantern so we're not advertising our presence.
Okay. Closing the lantern now.
And speaking quietly,
Yeah.
just to further punctuate our
Yeah.
attempt at stealth here.
Okay.
Been noticing lately that you and Asta have a certain energy about you. A sense of it almost feels like you revel in recklessness, this risk factor, fearlessness.
I don't know. What's the moon like tonight?
How's that moon looking? Is she full?
Looking up, it's probably about 2/3.
Okay.
So I mean, there's a fair bit of moonlight, but in the narrow part of the canyon, there's a good portion of the night where
You can't.
you
see
don't
anything.
get a lot of that reaching
Yeah.
down into it.
You know, before it almost felt like only sometimes I felt her on the stray. Now I feel her every moment of every day. It's impossible to describe. I guess you say fearless, but for me, I'm with my goddess at all times. It's an amazing feeling.
That sounds wonderful, Cal, but you are of the material plane. You have a lot of work left to do. And you have to remind yourself that to do the good that you want to do, you need to be alive to do it. And that you are still human and mortal and
Are we? I'm beginning to wonder sometimes. We've
yes,
taken down gods.
with the help of many, many allies and planning and a lot of resources at our disposal. It's not just us.
No, I see what you're saying. It's just there's always been a part of my mind that has always been trapped. And it's free now. I'm not constantly on the edge. It's just a hard feeling to keep in sometimes.
I have to say I envy that. I feel now more than ever I feel nothing but fear. Not only fear for you and Asta and the plight that we have before us, but what's getting to me most is not knowing if my brother's okay.
I haven't forgotten my promise to you.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm neglecting my duty to him, to protect him, to be there for him. He is alone right now because I've been gone for 2 years. I don't know when I return if he will see me the same, if he will see me as an enemy. And God's help me if he is gone, I I don't know what I
As
do.
as you're freaking out, he'll draw you closer and he'll plant a big old wet one. And you are now in his aura of no fear.
Oh.
Ooh.
Whoa!
Is that
Is
have
that-
a
is that
market
adjacent?
difference?
It's technically it's his aura, so technically she probably was in it the whole entire time.
Like
But-
it for thematic reasons.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You feel there is a membrane that you move through where in which everything you were just saying doesn't make any sense to you at all. There is an assuredness in your mind that Victor is perfectly fine. There's assuredness in your mind that no matter what might be drawn up before you and your friends, there are no circumstances that can best the Rovers.
I get it. I feel it, Cal.
I hope you. I'm not stopping giving up on your brother. None of this is stopping. But things are going to be okay. When I say that,
What I feel right now, it's not real. Nothing in this world is this sure. It's not real, Cal.
it's real to me. As he separates and she's outside the membrane.
And you feel a flood of reality pass by and or wash over you, and in the moment you could be 3 feet from Kel, you could be 1,000 feet from Kel. It's that extreme a differential within the aura and without.
It's weird being outside of it now. I get it. I really do.
For you, it's getting it. For me, it's every moment. I remember what it was like before, and I want to keep that in mind. And I think you're right. I need to be more careful, but I can't tell you how much things are going to be okay.
Kel, I have been failing you as your advisor.
You're so much more to me than an advisor, Cat.
But Kel, we are here to build the Eastern Guard, to fight against what is coming from the south.
Yeah.
And today, with the Condor, garnering the captain's appreciation of our skills and potentially fostering an alliance. Not only could that get me home faster, but the Tempest could be an asset to the Eastern Guard. It could move men across the continent in weeks instead of months. And if we had just left the Condor, we would have another ship at our disposal. More men that could be transported, that wouldn't have to feel the hardships of traveling the road.
You're right. No, you're right. No, I acted brazenly. I just riding high. No, you're right. There's a difference between being fearless and being foolish. You're right. Thank you. And he holds her hand.
She'll go in for an embrace.
Total.
There's
Uh,
a lot of squeaks.
Putting your arms around each other and stepping back into that aura, You will have to grapple on your own with how easy it is to.
You don't want to leave that.
I was gonna say,
embrace.
I think she's okay to just like
We're just
she
gonna
said,
be
like
here for a while.
just pick me up and just take me.
I'll give you a piggyback.
Just spider monkey.
You just like get a
Koala.
kick every.
Pivoting
it's like a
back
high.
to Aster as the ritual finishes, Ollie leaping out runs a quick circle and kind of and you could see again a little trepidation going back. Now that he's back, it's like there's no place like home, and and kind of up around your shoulders, maybe a half dozen turns. It's not agonizing when he does it, and before kind of
Scar tissue.
nestling in, kind of rubbing his little face against your jawline, and then kind of dipping down into the shirt pocket that he's called home for as long as you've known him, really. And you can almost immediately feel kind of the little rise and fall of his chest on yours, as like kind of the bulk of the day has been weighing on him too, and he just kind of settles in warm and snuggly, but.
Okay, I know, but we have work to do still. And I will coax him out. Can you smell anything on this gentleman?
He kind of nosing at the air, and kind of turning back to you, and lets out a little bit of a chitter of squeaks in your direction that you've just come to associate with. There's something he's interested in, and the man kind of listing slightly in his seat, so he's a little more up against the bulkhead itself, and you can hear now something that he's saying under his breath, but it's inaudible. It's so quiet. You can see his lips moving and just make out. Or I should say just
I read
not
the
make out.
lips.
It's there's not even that, I should say there's not even that much lip there to read.
Fair.
It's more teeth. He's kind of permanently twisted into this. You have to feel horrible for the guy because
That's
it just is
awful.
what he is, but he's kind of, his face is kind of permanently pulled into this grimace, this skull-like look. But yeah, there's not really anything to read there, but you can see as he kind of but so quiet, you can't make.
But did Ollie not smell anything unique?
He gave you some nod that something's piqued his interest.
Can you tell me? I mean, you can communicate.
I mean, it's what it is exactly. It's just there. He's got something
There's
that's
something there. Okay. Can he hear better what the man might be saying?
Where is he relative to the man?
He was. I was.
I know you just have-
I was holding his hand. Ollie was like on my wrist and smelling his hand.
Oh, okay. He kind of sniffing down at his hand, then Ollie kind of raising up an ear in his direction, and same. He's a little too far. Whatever he's saying is just below audibility.
Okay.
And leaning in a little bit, you can just make out a couple of the end syllables. You can see he's almost like fallen asleep against the bulkhead. The eyes! The eyes! The eyes!
Oh my god.
The eyes! And you can see kind of hands raking
the eyes
His eyes?
down his
oh Jesus
forehead, and you can see blood kind of beginning
Can I
to
pull his arms off?
pull, and you can see he fights you heavily. Give me a strength check. You can see
Come
fucking
on, he has no
shit.
muscle.
let's get the fuck out of
Neither do you. Fillion joins in.
Can I get the help action?
It is with the help action. Yeah, Fillion's grabbing one of the wrists as you.
Does that mean I have advantage?
Yep.
Does that mean I have
That's a
advantage?
really bad roll.
That wasn't super bad. Just a little average.
For me?
Wizard life.
Oh,
Yeah,
God,
the
that's
other one was
worse.
better. Yep.
8.
9.
You're not gonna have too much trouble. I rolled in that too. So
Okay.
He is
He's freaking
emaciated.
emaciated.
Yeah.
he's got a -1 as his final.
Oh, jeez.
Drawing your
I-
hands back, and you can see kind of the skin that was pulled taut on the skull. You can see where each of the respective fingernails have gouged, like down to the bone. It's just kind of flayed back. You can see portions of the skull, but just thrashing against you as best he can. Oh, the eyes! The eyes! And he just flailing around, turns and boom,
Oh, God.
smashes his head against the bulkhead. Boom! A second time.
Can
And you
I?
can see
Can we
kind of
stop him? Can we
a
like?
rupture of
Oh.
blood kind
Do you
of
like my
begin
friends?
pouring down. What was your total?
8.
Fighting against him, you eventually get him subdued, though it is hard to tell if he has simply been subdued or if he has lost consciousness in the
Aster's
process.
like trembling and like crying and like this is spooky.
He kind of turns and at this point
it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
and he's at this point he's saying nothing. He's not even moving. I mean, he may well be unconscious. He may well be dead. He does seem to be breathing, but he's motionless and Fillion, you can see, who has kind of in the same boat, takes a step back, kind of removing his hands. I think glancing around, he finds the bit of rope and restrains the man a second time. I think you should probably fill in your friends. The captain should be made aware as well.
Certainly. Really quickly, she'll caress his forehead where he did that and do cure wounds.
Okay. You watch as the wound begins binding itself. The stain of blood still kind of having run down onto the front of his shirt, which is already pretty thoroughly saturated from his earlier escapades. The hold falls.
She'll just
silent.
pause tenderly for a second and just kind of try her best to comfort him, and she's just so shaken. She's just doesn't immediately respond. Okay. Yeah, I'll go fine. Are you sure you're okay with him?
He's gesturing to the restraint. I'm more concerned about his safety.
Okay. I'm sure you have. See if he'll get any water or anything. And I'll half run out of there, and look everywhere for Cat and Cal.
Okay.
Guys,
As you
We're probably coming down below.
move up
Are we
onto
coming
the
back?
main deck, I'm gonna.
Figured. Right, because that's where we're headed, right? Coming back. Unless you want to have a little rendezvous.
I'm good. Breather.
Yo,
I'll be back.
I mean,
let's take the story. Let's head on back.
Okay. As you turn and begin heading your way back to the Tempest, you hear a clatter of stone from somewhere up above. The rake of claw kind of scraping down. You hear kind of two bounding movements, and it's just in the dark.
Can Kel, is it flying or is it crawling?
Something clattering along the rock face, but you hear kind of a leap another clatter, and then you feel kind of the buffet of air as something hits ground just in front of you. And
Can
again, it is pretty much pitch black with your
I was just to say,
lantern.
can I open the lantern up at the direction it was coming at?
Opening it up, you immediately catch the glare of eye and a head that turns. You watch as the neck
Block action.
flares out.
Whip my weapons out.
And you can see kind of the tongue darts out a couple of times, kind of licking up the
Can I
side.
also-
Kind of.
Can I go behind Kel too? Can I hide behind him a
Yeah,
little bit?
yeah.
Are you guys out of eye shot of the Tempest?
We're probably getting closer
I was
to
gonna
it,
say
but
we were
still.
pretty. I don't think we were.
I don't
No,
think
you
we
weren't,
went that
you weren't
far.
that far. No,
Yeah.
you would landing down, and it kind of the gleam of the lantern. You can see its attention flickers to the lantern itself momentarily, and then back up, and you can
I
see
will speak with
I was
animals.
gonna say, are you gonna
They-
talk to her? Tell
you
her
can
she's a
see
magnificent
the
beast.
barbed
Oh shit! Here goes a female.
block
Block action.
Hide.
Block action, please. Block
Hide.
action.
tail hangs from the back. It takes about one full step, and you find yourself maybe 2 or 3 feet separated. Its head kind of turns.
I will cast Talk with Animals. Where's your mate?
It pushes off. Flies off into the night.
They're testing us, cat.
Let's get back.
Making your way back up the gangway, footfalls
Why
on
didn't
deck.
she attack? No, that was really strange.
Kel will do a full 360 to see if he can find the female anywhere.
Okay. The female. Yeah. Using the lantern.
Yeah, see if he can find her.
Shining up. Give me a perception check.
Is there another lantern on board to sweep the other side?
Well, the other side is way too far for
Okay,
Well, how about
okay.
while I'm searching, can she also search at the same time to see if she can see something I can't?
Just
We
eyes
both roll perception.
glued
Yeah.
to...
I mean, if both of you are staying on deck to give a look.
Why did I roll 2? I don't know why I rolled 2.
Why do I fucking roll dice anyway?
Advantage, because I said so.
I don't care about wyverns. Fuck them.
Dude, she's like,
She's
"Oh,
riding
hey,
high
Cal."
on the no fear train.
Oh, hey, Cal.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like,
I felt those
Fanning
vibes.
That shit's like a
across
drug.
The,
it's like 12 for me.
the
Yeah,
nearby
about the same.
upper ledge. I mean, you know how difficult it was to see these
Yeah.
in broad daylight. But fanning it up, you don't see a glint of any eyes. And you got firsthand as you open that up, you could see that kind of lantern shine. The architecture of their eyes is such that it really kind of scatters light in an interesting way.
You spoke with her. Did she say anything?
Not a thing.
So,
And it was definitely a he.
Oh.
Yeah.
so he didn't say anything, but he presented himself to us. He could have attacked. Why didn't he?
I think
What would be the
they're
purpose?
testing. They're testing to see what's happening. You
Yes.
see this all the time with predators.
But we were easy pickings. So I mean,
I don't think we're that easy pickings.
There'll be no living with him from
Did
now on.
Kel, did we just have a talk about?
As you guys are kind of scanning that over, do you immediately head down or do you stay
Yeah,
up?
I want to immediately head down.
Okay.
So he landed on deck?
No. This is down on the landing itself.
Okay.
So they came up the companionway, up the gangplank, begin heading towards the companionway. Did your scan of the nearby ledges, did not see anything of note. And as you're heading down, you come face to face with, you all come face to face with one another, all looking your own versions of a little bit rattled.
Hey, Kel's fine.
Oh, Kel actually
Kel's
looks,
fine.
Kel looks fine.
It's just like,
He rips a big fart and then like goes and
He's never getting laid again.
nope,
Never.
nope.
you do realize that like it's the fear of not getting laid that helps you get laid most of the time. And not having that fear, I mean, you're screwed now.
Yep.
yeah, a little bit,
Oh.
Good thing your goddess is hot.
Super hot. Anyway, so what's the?
But you guys
Are you
all
okay, Aster?
arrived down on deck, having just passed Mr. Slate.
Mr. Slate, We ran across a male. Didn't attack us, but got right in our face. We're being watched.
I think they're the noose is tightening.
I feel it too.
Well, report to the captain when he's up.
Done and done. Good luck, Mr. Slate. What's wrong, Aster?
You're next on watch, so
Yeah, not for like another couple minutes, so we're good.
oh you got almost an hour.
Oh, hell yeah.
Settles back in, extending his hand out back for the lantern.
He gives it.
Nothing on the suite though.
Besides a male landing right
Well-
beside us, yeah, we're fine.
I'm just gonna go see what Aster's doing.
Am I
Yeah,
privy to
just
this?
be on high alert, Mr. Slate.
Am I privy to
gives it
this?
Yeah, you guys are all on deck.
You what? Wait, it landed right next to you?
I said hi. Don't worry.
It was yes, he did.
Did he
choose
what did he
to
say?
speak with it.
Not a thing.
It was a male? You're sure?
Yeah, I asked him where his mate was, and he just took off.
How close did he get?
As close as me and you are to right now.
Just a few feet.
But he didn't attack.
Didn't
Strange, right?
attack. I think he's gathering intelligence. Well, we didn't have the lantern on. It was pitch black, so
Huh.
might have been a curious
Well-
thing.
You guys, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I found you. Can you come with me to the hold?
Sure.
Our survivor got really active and he's screaming and it's really awful.
All right, let's head down.
Is he okay?
He was trying to hurt himself. We stopped him. He's just screaming about the eyes, some eyes, I don't know,
Nice.
over and over, and he's tearing his flesh off of him, and it's horrible. And Aster's like really shaken up and just like not looking you in the eye, just kind of just,
So be okay, Aster. Show us where he's at. We'll take care of it.
yeah, come with me. And she'll let her back.
Leading back down to the hold on the starboard side. You find Fillion again, who's crouched on the ground beside the bench that the man had been laying on. As the noise of your approach comes, he glances over his shoulder.
Is he gone?
You see him withdraw his hand from. It seemed more than he could bear.
Perhaps it was a mercy.
I think in this case it most certainly was. Did you make anything of his? You were a bit closer to him when he was speaking, and I mean I heard all of that, and you guys, as you're seeing here, you can see a spatter of blood on the wall where he had smashed his head a couple of times, and you could see now that the man who is more or less kind of curled up on this small bench just lies completely still, completely motionless.
Having heard him shout out the eyes, did that put into context any of the other mumbo jumbo he was saying?
I mean, he's talked about everything under the sun, just about as incoherent as.
No. I don't know. Whatever he saw, I assume the others did too. And I don't know. I'd have to think about this.
We've got almost another hour here. I'll start getting some preparations here, but I think the captain will be disinclined to keep the body on board unless you think there's any value in it.
Mm-hmm. Did I already run detect magic?
On him?
Yeah.
I don't believe that you have.
Oh, I thought she did. Anyway.
I guess for the sake of gathering information and seeing if it's still, if now that he's dead, if there's anything, I'll run that ritual.
Okay.
You can see if I see anything.
Okay. What are you guys doing as she's doing this? Fillion basically begins kind of cleaning up some of the mess that's there, and he draws a blanket over the body, and presumably to be disposed tomorrow at some point.
Wait, I'm looking.
That's really good. You gonna get some rest before you're on watch, or are you gonna stay up?
It's only an hour before my next watch, and I'm gonna say some prayers over the body before.
I'll let you do that. I'll get some sleep.
I hope you do. Good. So he'll start praying. He'll tell us straight over the body.
Okay. Heading back to your quarters, you spend the time leading up to your watch, kind of giving last rites to finishing the ritual. You find that the body has a albeit faint, does have the signature of enchantment arcana on it.
And it's faint. Do I see it ebbing? Can I see an actual change?
No, but it just doesn't. It's like I said, it's not a strong registry, but it's definitely there. But
is it the whole body, or is it localized somewhere?
It does seem to be the whole body.
Okay.
Yeah, there does not seem to be, any concentration or
I was out of my league. I don't know what we're dealing with here, but I don't need to tell you, it doesn't look good.
You're talking to Fillion?
Yeah.
No.
Do you want me to tell the captain, or would you like to?
I'm happy to communicate it with the captain. I'll wait until he's up. I don't think there's anything about this evening that this will have its impact on.
Okay. All right.
He puts a hand on your shoulder. Just there wasn't anything we were going to be able to do for him. And
typical. Thank you for everything you did. I'm gonna get some rest before tomorrow.
he goes back to prepping the body, and with that, I think unless you have anything important you need to do.
No, that's just.
As she's walking back to their quarters, she'll pause at 2 long boxes.
You stop in the cargo hold on the port side.
Mm-hmm.
The world is yours.
That's not really doing much, just gonna put her hands on the boxes and be in that moment for a bit.
You become aware of Goran's presence after about a minute of being there.
Oh, sorry. Did I disturb you?
We're going to ask the same thing of you.
No, I was just leaving.
You shouldn't. Just grab some things. You should take the time you need. No.
He slips past you and grabs a bag from his near his bunk, his hammock there.
Why can I never see you? Any of you? I just feel so helpless. And she'll just stay quiet. And she'll stay there for a while and eventually make her way back to her bunk.
Retiring into your bunk.
Cap's gonna reach out and grab her arm, pull her into bed. Big spoon, little spoon.
You guys curl up, and night takes you. The following morning comes pretty abruptly. The heat that comes up in the canyon is almost more acknowledgeable than the light itself. It's kind of there's a convection effect of the air that pulls through here. As you break off in the morning, coming up onto deck, you can see that the captain and Fillion are engaged in some conversation. You actually see that a number of other crew members kind of moving about. There seems to be some discussion taking place. And as you first come, kind of your first step onto deck, Valandrea flashes you guys a smile.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. I was just curious if there were explosions and
There were.
Yes. But we've got it handled. It's well in hand.
okay, I wanted to make sure because I was just worried, and the captain is intent on me remaining with the vessel. So
Oh, well, yes. Well, the danger is gone now.
good. I
Did he seem overly concerned about the explosions happening?
the captain.
Yes.
He seemed overly concerned since we got here.
As he should be.
I will say the explosions didn't seem to help the matter.
Were there any sightings of wyvern activity last night?
I believe she gestures to Kel. I believe you may have heard some last night, or
About as close to me as I am to you right now.
beyond that, it was my understanding that there was,
Fighting.
yes, unnervingly so. But we hadn't touched base really since we got in here.
Yes. Okay, well, it'll be good to know that you'll man the ship. We have some plans.
It can be difficult in the cross breeze that pulls through the canyon. It can be very difficult to pilot a vessel. I mean, especially-
Yeah,
You don't say.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Especially with
that-
wyverns and their traps.
There's a lot of traps.
Wyvern traps.
Yeah, Goran was saying that
They're tricky.
I didn't really fully understand, but anyways, it's I'm glad to have you back on board.
Yeah.
And to know that safe.
Well, we're about to take off, so yep, see you later.
No, I appreciate that. Yeah. No, it gives me a great deal of admiration for your gifts.
She nods and smiles and continues. Her trajectory clearly was down the companionway as you guys were coming up, but heads down below, and you guys are on deck.
Do you think it was trying to understand what we're doing? Or do you think it was toying with you?
I think it was. If I was to say that it seemed to be gathering intelligence, the fact that we weren't immediately ambushed means it wasn't a trap. We were doing something that was unexpected. So I think it was gathering intelligence. Wait.
Well, if it
God,
can...
that's
Very
Wh-
wisdomous of you.
Yeah, let's go with wisdom on that
one.
6 intelligence is hard to roleplay sometimes.
But I don't think it reads for a soldier. It doesn't read too.
Okay,
good.
Seems like a soldierly take.
Don't they have incredible eyesight? I mean, why would it need to come so close to you to ascertain that?
I don't know. It's a good question.
It was interesting to me that it was cocking its head, Have you seen
Was
that
it?
behavior before?
And dogs, yeah.
Well, didn't you and Asta have a chat with the wyvern on board? Would
Yeah.
the movements similar?
Yeah, and they're wyverns, so yeah.
I'm gonna go get some breakfast now.
Oh, breakfast as he runs downstairs. It's okay.
Actually, can I
I'm gonna have
overhear what
waffles.
the captain and the crew on board are talking about?
You can
Waffles.
overhear that Fillion is speaking with Draco, and as you approach, you hear, well, unless I can't see any reason to keep it
Metal
on board.
dice.
I think it's best we dispose of the body. I'm not worried about it being catching, but there's no point in finding out the hard way. And you can see that Fillion is nodding and acknowledging your approach. Katarina,
Good morning, Captain.
good morning. Sounds like we had an exciting night last night.
Yes, the wyvern were out and about.
Yeah, I was pretty clear on what my instructions were for the evening.
I apologize, Captain. I really needed some air. The cavern was a little more than I expected.
Fair enough. In the future, I'd appreciate it if you and your friends would at least consider the commands that I'm giving on my ship.
I wasn't naked.
Again,
cooking.
I kind of wish he was.
I know you do. Everyone does.
You see an eye roll behind eyelids.
Again, Captain, it wasn't my intention to disregard you. I've been struggling lately, so I'll make sure I'm in line.
We have a plan for the day?
Yes, we're off to the Iluka.
Good. If, say, pull that thread as far as it'll lead you. From the sounds of things, what your young friend was talking about, I don't know how close Astor is at this point.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll rephrase that. From the sounds of things, from what Astor said, we got a fair bit of elevation to make up. We're going to get up to those nests.
Seems to me, and do correct me if I'm wrong, that they are getting bolder.
They'll send out scouts.
Would you say this behavior is typical every time that you come?
Well, we generally don't draw quite so much attention.
Also, not my intent.
If you do.
The between some of the ruckus and the fact that we had to bring the Tempest all the way into the canyon, we're usually able to tuck away, keep things a little better hidden. Sometimes we can even pull a skiff all the way inside a cavern, make our presence more or less unknown. We don't have that luxury this time, and I think the wyverns are closing the window that we have on this operation. They know we're here. They're well familiar with who we are and what we're doing at this point. I have no doubt.
Maybe we keep them guessing. Is there any sort of activity we could do that would throw them off the path? Can we mine for something? Can we harvest something local here?
Or perhaps while we're
Well,
At the
while we're away.
at the Iluka village, perhaps the Tempest retreats out of the cavern.
Well, we can't leave the canyon entirely. The storm system's already moved in. We can reposition the Tempest. The way I see it, based on your description, we can do this the way that we've always done it, though we've already lost the element of surprise, which would probably put you and your friends, a couple of my men in on foot, split into two crews, draw the wyverns out, second crew goes in, harvest the egg. You can take the Tempest As I said, we've never had this much firepower and this much at our disposal. I just assume not disturb the nests unduly. But I'm afraid that we've missed our weather window to leave the canyon. And I think our window, let's just say the wyverns, I think, are going to be rolling up the welcome mat.
Are we, if we acquire the eggs, are we stuck?
It will be for the next few days. Valandre has been keeping me apprised of her reading on the weather systems.
I see.
I just assume, push comes to shove, I mean, we can depart the canyon, but it'll be a hell of a ride doing it.
I see.
I sure as hell wouldn't leave the vessel tied up in those conditions.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I think we'll get to the plan. We'll stick to the plan. We need to move then.
Yeah, long story short, I think we need to have an egg in hand in the next 48 hours.
Done.
Okay.
If you think the Iluka can aid us in that prospect, as I said, that's a thread that we don't have the luxury of pulling, generally speaking. So I'll be very curious to see what kind of ground you're able to make there.
Okay.
All right. Once you've got some fuel in you, get
Waffles.
to
Waffles! Oh boy! Aster's
waffles.
really hungry. She lost her lunch and didn't eat much dinner.
it. Kel whips up waffles.
I'm making waffles.
Waffle ironless waffles.
These are basically pancakes.
Yeah, they're pancakes.
To
You
be
can call them
honest.
waffles if you want. You just call them like,
Flat waffles.
yeah,
Pancakes.
whatever you.
Yeah, we'll go with pancakes. Oh my god.
Are you beast?
What a beast.
Yay!
He's a
27?
cooking
Yeah,
mania.
he's cooking up a storm.
27.
Dang!
Without, like, that's his proficiency.
Oh
plus
my gosh!
professional.
Those sound like
Aster
some
eats
flapjack.
So many
Kel
waffles.
returns to the
Flap
top of the deck with just a platter. I mean, like a cartoon level
Yes!
platter of flat waffles. And you can see a number of heads turn just from the aroma.
No, I can probably make some syrup. I can boil down some sugar and water and make a really good syrup. Yeah.
He's got a little syrup going on the side. You get the sense that no one has ever had flat waffles.
No one has ever
And-
Bet you didn't know.
It's flat like a pan. It's kind of like a cake batter. I'm going to call these things pancakes.
And thus the pancake was invented
By Kel Bastano.
by Kel Vistano. No, coming back to the top, just an unbelievable spread of pancakes all around. The official breakfast of heroes everywhere.
And for my special friends here, I'll definitely sprinkle a little something extra. So we'll have 4 temporary hit points.
Ooh. Okay.
Thank you.
I won't say no.
Okay.
And I will also hop on board Jenny and then cast aids. So Jenny gets my aids. And we'll all get plus 10 additional HP. That's to your permanent HP.
Ooh.
And then you have plus 4 buffer.
All right. Heading out from the Tempest.
Mm-hmm.
Where to?
Goodness.
Um,
As you should.
At
He's got some
ease.
that delicious Kel
So
breakfast.
my plan. So I can,
Covering language.
but I can't speak it.
No, that's tongues. That's a different spell.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But it might be useful.
No, I think it
You
is.
should definitely let me draw.
Drawer. Oh my gosh,
Well,
yes.
some of them speak common,
Oh my
right?
gosh.
but to be able to like hear what they're actually saying and what the
It
other
has to be
person tells
strictly
you is
stick
huge.
figures.
And that,
Only
but
stick figures.
I'll do ours in like super realistic etchings. And here's you,
Here's
stick
you.
figures.
Here's us. We're works of art.
Were they humanoid type creatures?
Pardon.
The Iluka?
Yeah.
Yes. Albeit much smaller in stature.
Oh.
Like
Halfling?
Like
Halfling?
a really, really lithe halfling. Like, I mean,
all right.
they were they were almost like borderline non-humanoid in how kind of characterized the like really long kind of spindly limbs despite their relatively short stature. So I'd say the ones that you saw, if you had to guess, you would probably say 4 feet,
All right.
something like that. Maybe a little larger, but
Okay. Over the course of breakfast, can I return Ollie to his pseudo dragon form?
Yep. Ollie back in pseudo dragon form,
That's what's up.
and you guys head out.
Yes, I would like to go up the switchbacks, and before we reach the top, if I can find a place that I can just kind of hang tight and cast Comprehend Languages. Otherwise, I'll just do it at the ledge. I'd like to have that ready as soon as we get to speaking with them as
Gotcha.
possible.
Okay. Pushing into the series of stone structures, you can see that there seems to be maybe 6 or 7, a smattering of these really small structures, and all of this is carved into the earth. It's none of this is there's no masonry involved. These are all kind of etched into the cliff sides. Some of these you can see pretty clearly, like the entryways look to be completely natural. Like maybe it was a small cave that was then converted into a more suitable living space. As you push up and into this space, there's no movement. There's nothing seems present, and almost immediately you can see remnants, not insubstantial piles of trapping gear, of looking very similar or even identical to that of the Condor. And looking over this space, it becomes pretty apparent that this was some sort of, albeit the stone structures very much have been here for who knows how long, but the most recent inhabitants of this space appear like they may have been from the Condor or a different trapping outfit, but you can see a more permanent setup. And as you come in, you can see an open air, kind of what would be a seating area. It's kind of a large stone slab that I mean, you could probably sit 15 people around it, maybe. And you can see some old, beat up pewter plates and silverware and things like that. And you can see food in various states of decay on a number of the plates.
Food, so it looked like they were in the middle of eating something, or
How long? How's it decayed for? Can we get like a guesstimate?
And there are maggots
Okay.
actively eating it,
Like a
or
week, or
some
at least
sort
a
of
week.
maggotoid form.
Right,
you know, could-
The packs that are outside, can I rifle through them to see
I
if
was
there's
gonna
any
say the same
notes
Give me
or
an
personal
investigation
messages or anything that would?
can I do that?
Oh, it's
Yeah.
investigation.
Can I do that?
if both of you guys
Can I
are
do that? That would be
cooking
cool.
through
Oh, I
that,
rolled a 19. That's
what's
a
Kel
19.
doing while that's happening?
Cal's going to be looking for signs of movement, looking for any.
Give me a
like-
perception check as you watch. So you're kind of in this courtyard area,
16.
and where you have, like I said, a lot of this gear.
Cal is not. He's not concentrating at all.
Okay. Your eyes, I
He
mean,
pretty
your
much
eyes
just
do
cooks these
draw
days.
upward regularly. You've found that the wyverns have instilled in you a demand of respecting the airspace above you. Your eyes scanning over, you can see again all of these dots. It's kind of hard to tell how many there actually are, because some of them, like, it'd be like, is that 4 windows in one structure, or is
Right.
that but little kind of holes with which that would kind of serve as a porthole or a window? But then you can also see actual entryways. There's probably something like 6 or 7 of these, small kind of semi-domed shapes. Off to the right, there is one that is a fair bit, pretty substantial in size, maybe 3 or 4 times the size of any of the others. All of this kind of carved into the wall. But as you scan over that area back and forth, nothing jumps out. What do we get for
19.
16, 17,
Okay.
16.
Rifling through the gear and equipment that's outside? You 19. You find one small journal. The journal seems to belong to an individual named Desmond, and the notes in the journal seem to be the accounts. It seems to be written in a tone as though this was intended to be given to someone as like an account of what he's been doing with his time. And there's the writing has a certain affection in the way that it's written, as though this person who they're writing to, almost like a series of letters, but they're all intact in this book.
Asta, do you want to read through this journal and I can go look in some of the other homes?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, I'd like to skim it. Specifically the most recent passages.
And then I'll go search the other homes for activity.
The reading through the journal, you gather that Desmond was part of the crew of the Condor, and that this was going to be a big score for that crew. There's many references in the journal about what this job is going to mean for their lives moving forward. Again, whoever this person is that he's writing to, but seems to indicate that between the specimens is the term that he uses, and the nitro, that this is kind of an all-in play, a cash-out play for some of these guys, or certainly for him. The latest journal entry remarks on some encounters with the local wildlife. There's some marks made of something that sounds remarkably similar to a carrion crawler. There's some remarks made about the wyverns. There's a number of remarks in which, again, the specimens, as he continues to refer to them, are he's garnering, as the entries go on, a greater and greater appreciation for how this is not an easy payday. This is not the payday he thought it was going to be. They abruptly stop. There's no finalization to.
Does it stop like midway through an entry, or just?
No, but that entry finishes up effectively detailing that they had made camp further into the cavern, and that they had. He references a relic.
I like the R word.
A man named Griff returned with
Plus
a
one
relic.
AC. That'd be awesome.
I just needed that a little bit.
Does that ring a bell?
It does not.
Oh. A reference to Griff and something being returned?
Griff was the one who returned. He and some others went on an outing. He returned with what he's referred to as a relic. That is the last entry.
So where we are currently is further in the cavern. Is that right?
Further into the canyon, certainly from where the Condor was.
And so when he says we've made camp. Okay. Oh, Cat, come here.
Oh, what?
Read this. And she'll point out to the relic piece. Do you think it could be here among... I mean, there are no evidence of bodies, right? Just stuff.
So far, you've seen nothing. There's just
Not even like bones or...
nothing.
Oh.
I'm just real quick while you're doing that. I'm just going to ask again: is Kel just staying on watchers?
Yeah, Cal's trying to find it. I'll happily make another perception check.
No, I want to make sure that I'm not just passing over you doing.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'll have Gwen sniff the air to see if there's anything weird smelling because she has advantage on perception checks.
Okay, go ahead and give that perception. I'm sorry. Continue.
Excuse me.
Witness me.
Are you
did
fucking
you
kidding me?
really
Witness Gwen.
Wait,
No, the other one.
Do it.
Well, I can't witness it. I don't see it. The whole.
Yep.
That's
Double check that. I
buddy.
think this motherfucker's lying.
No.
I have confirmed.
Why you always?
I thought so
Why?
too. That's why I had to check.
I am true to this game, Tom. When I say witness me, I mean it. Anyway, so
That's a sacred bond. You guys continue. I will adjudicate that.
no worries.
Ooh. Yes. So
That's
should we? So what's lying around? Are they packs specifically? Are they like strewn about like haphazardly, or did it look
No,
intentional?
it seems like they've set up.
Okay.
This is kind of a forward camp for them. Clearly, they probably went, "Oh wow, some already makeshift shelter here. Like this is great." There again, from where you're at in this courtyard, there doesn't seem to be any indication of violence that's transpired here. There doesn't seem to be any indication of. But out here, again, it's bulk cargo storage. So you're talking about big crates, big sacks of gear, rucksacks. There's actually not that many like individual packs or rucksacks. The one that you ended up sifting through is the one that you found the journal in. But beyond that,
Does the journal make mention by name the number of crew on board? I mean, we know that there were the captain, the two dead, and then the man that passed in the quarters of the Tempest.
Right.
there are 6 unique
There are 6 unique names.
names in.
Have I been able to discern their roles based on the
He,
language?
almost not at all. He doesn't make any mention of anyone's specific job as crew.
Well, just like so and so told me to do this, or discerning who's the authority. Did he at least say the captain's name?
There's actually no reference to a captain.
Oh.
Period. In this, no one's referenced as the captain.
Okay.
So you kind of get the sense, based on how he's talking, that this is a pretty close-knit group of people, because there seems to be, again, there's just a way of talking about and writing about these people, but
Well, as best I can tell, there were 6 originally, and so we have accounted for 4. So there's 2 that were not aboard. So
I'm gonna go look in the rest of the dwellings, and then
okay.
we should maybe look to move on.
Agreed.
Do you think the relic could be here somewhere?
as that question hangs in the air, you hear a low growl in Jenny's throat, and you watch as she lowers. She immediately kind of takes about 3 strides forward and kind of finding a space where she's kind of tucked amidst that stone slab table, and you see that kind of her eyes kind of going wide in a predatory stance, narrow in on the larger of the structures.
Rovers on me.
Do we need to find some cover?
I don't know.
She's bristling at the larger structure?
Yes.
I'll go
Get
first.
both my weapons out.
Is the entryway to that structure large enough for a wyvern?
I mean, you wouldn't be surprised if a wyvern couldn't wiggle their way into a space. You know, if they really wanted to, that's like the human size. But it's just a standard, more or less a standard doorway.
Are these doorways the size of Iluka?
They are.
They are. Okay.
Yeah, they actually probably top out in the, let's call them about 5 foot even.
So
Seems to be.
So unlikely to be a wyvern in there?
Looking at the opening, I'd say it's not unreasonable to say unlikely. Yeah, but
Okay.
again, I would.
Yeah.
Okay.
They are
I'll
some
take the
clever
the
girls.
block.
There are
action.
some clever girls. How far are we from this structure?
From the courtyard, you're probably 40, 50 feet from
Okay. What do you see?
Something's with Gwen.
And I follow Gwen's gaze. Can I try to peer in?
is pitch black inside. The contrast between the hard light outside and the virtual lack of light inside.
Should we call out?
Well, I can cast some light, so we can see inside. I'll cast light on my shield. Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'll be the decoy. I'm gonna come in loud and strong. I'll get the attention on me, and then we take that. Like
Before you do,
what?
what if they're the locals? Wouldn't make a good impression, I don't think. Do you, Kat? I mean,
We can, if
If
you
we're
want to
trying
say
to-
like, "Hey, come out now in peace," or "We're coming in," that's fine. But
what do you think, Kat? This is kind of
Well, he's been listening to us speak all this time, so if you're in there, come out. We don't mean you any harm. We just want to talk.
Listening, you hear a clatter. Something falls to the floor, but
Griff, is that you? You can come out.
there's
all right,
no response.
I'll go in first.
Okay, well, let's be gentle though.
No, I won't attack anything that doesn't attack me first.
Okay.
And if I do attack it, it will be to incapacitate. I won't go to kill.
Okay.
Unless it's a fucking wyvern, and then all bets are off.
Okay.
Let's go.
I'll be judicial. Alright. Cal will
Okay.
cast light on his shield.
That sounds good.
Okay.
That sounds
and
legit.
he'll take the block action as he fucking goes through the door and starts.
I want to be right at his heel.
Okay. Charging forward, ducking under the.
Can Kelp fit?
He can make himself 5 feet tall.
I mean, he's got plate. He's got a big old shield. I'm just saying that it's
it's
squeeze.
an effort. It's not. I mean, you can't sprint straight in, but
Yeah.
ducking as best you can. As you step into that space, you feel a sudden blow off to your right as a shield meets yours. A scimitar coming from overhead. Simultaneously, you see the snake-like head of some creature as it lashes out 2 fangs.
Snakehead? UNT?
with a scimitar. Though?
Yes, UNT. This is you. Oh, sorry.
What do you know about it? You haven't been
I don't know
places.
shit. I don't know nothing.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Player character. Yeah.
The that's 20, yes.
I would like
Or
Yeah.
the block action.
Block action.
The scimitar swinging overhead, bringing your shield up. It clatters off. The bite, which seems to initially be coming from one way, kind of darting around this kind of serpentine movement.
Block action broke.
The bite you see as the fangs kind of clamping down onto the top of that shield is the exact moment that from the other side
Jesus.
uh,
Nice.
you
This is why I take the block action.
experience a
Hey, dot, 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 dot.
this is 2 separate attacks.
Jesus.
The first attack of the 2, which is the scimitar. So the first scimitar and the bite come through, fending it off in every way possible, and simultaneously blocking that doorway as so you could see kind of a shuffle of Kel's feet and just hear the clang of steel,
Oh, gosh.
and you can even hear the as the bite clamps down. You feel a streak of blood begin coursing out kind of the base of your skull as the
Okay.
scimitar rakes down the back.
Can I check our 6 just to make sure?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm actually right behind Kel, so I'm hoping.
I'm not in yet.
Yeah, don't come in, maybe.
Jesus.
For 18 slashing damage.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Where's
Fuck
Jenny?
you. Jenny's outside. So 18. So
Yep.
there goes that. So 14.
Oh.
As the primary shaft of light being from that doorway, kind of the clatter and fight is just kind of casting shadow in these weird shafts of light you can almost barely see. It's hard to tell exactly how many combatants are in this space, but it is at that moment everyone needs to roll initiative.
Aha.
I don't like you rolling 2 dice.
What is it?
12. I also rolled 12. Hey, 12 twins. We're 12 twins. What'd you roll?
A 15 on that.
You're not a 12 twin.
I'm not a 12 twin.
14 for me.
That could have gone way worse. Thank you, block action.
Right?
Yeah, no
Block
kidding.
action. Doing it.
That being said, how many times you had to roll those dice? These guys have a decent plus to hit.
Yeah.
What's the what is the low?
12?
You have 12 total?
Yep, 12 total.
Him.
I'm low.
Next.
14.
Oh, fine. Put me at the bottom. I'm a power bottom.
Power bottom?
Yeah, I'm power bottom. You know what that means?
What was Katarina?
Oh my
23.
Oh my god. Swordy dude.
Right. For those of you who are not aware of what's happening right now, our delectable DM is putting. We have a totem, so we get to.
The initiative totem.
The
Yeah,
initiative
initiative
totem.
totem.
We'll do a tour of the studio at some point.
At some point, maybe for our Patreon members. Those of you who don't pay, I'm sorry.
You don't get to see behind the screen.
Oh boy.
That'll last about 2 weeks before we go like, we should just do that video anyway.
Yeah. But they see it early.
As that clatter begins, you turn to check your 6, and you can see that now Jenny is slinking her way up, realizing that Kel has found himself in some danger as she begins bolting straight forward. As you're glancing back, you notice as 2 bows, the arrows kind of drawing out of the window, and you see as 2 arrows come streaking, one towards you and one towards Katarina.
I saw where they were coming from.
The windows of 2 of the smaller hovels.
So kind of on the level.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Those are coming down the line now. Who or what is shooting them? Really, you could just see kind of the arrow jut out and loose. And this is going to be Aster. You think you're what, 18?
Fuck you, DM.
It's actually still going to be a hit.
Oh, I hate you so much.
Can I wait?
Yeah, you can do lots of shit.
I'm tempted to do shield.
You're-
So
Are you tempted or are you doing it?
That's a question.
How long does it last around? Yeah, I'll do shield.
Shield?
Shield me, baby.
The an arcane barrier. You watch as the arrow
So
fractures the front of it. It kind of cracking in half, and you watch as the shaft splinters off of
Hey!
the arcane.
That's
shield.
rude!
The next one loosing in Katarina's direction. This one flies wide, just over your shoulder. You can feel your hair kind of carried back in the wind of it, and that will be. There go, Katarina.
With my hand on Kel's shoulder, I'm going to squeeze it and say, "We've got enemies at our back. I'll be back."
Done.
Turning, am I able to see them?
You cannot. In fact, by the time you turn to look back, they have pulled back in and they have taken the hide action.
Asta,
Ooh,
where are they?
Nice.
They came from those windows right there. I point them to her.
Okay. I would like to. Are they two separate hovels, or are they all both coming from the same?
It's again, there's lines of windows and a series of doors, and how many of these are interconnected until you're inside. It's going to be really hard to say.
Okay.
But you can see doorways near or associated with those windows.
Okay. I'll just head towards the first one she pointed at.
Please be careful. I'm going to send Ollie with you.
Okay.
Those are probably 40 or so feet away, 50 feet away.
Okay. I'll use my bonus action to dash to get there.
Okay. And are you wanting to go in? You wanting to go to the window itself? Be a hell of a squeeze to get in a window if you actually want to go through a window. But
no, I will go through the door. I'm assuming it's dark in there as well.
yeah, it's pretty hard. Again, with the harsh light outside, it's pretty hard to see anything inside.
Well, I'll light up Lightbringer and I'll enter.
Okay. Pushing in, you can see what is effectively fully humanoid. It has a snake's head, but has the body of a man. And you can see as you step in, it turns, already kind of drawing the next arrow. It hasn't drawn it yet, just knocking it. As you come around that space, you can see that it is a relatively small space in here, and there's only the one that you see.
Okay.
But it was 2 arrows.
2 arrows definitely was, and you saw definitively two separate
Locations. I
two
see.
separate ones.
So I'm sorry, it's not wearing a mask that is a snake head. It has a snake head, but
It absolutely is, its head is that of a snake.
okay. So that doesn't really fit the description of the Iluka, who are.
You've got the description. I'll let you make that call.
I mean, it kind of tracks though.
But I will say, I mean, there's been no mention of Iluka being snake people.
Well, yeah, that's a little
So.
weird.
Crab people. Look like crab.
I want to move to engage him before he's able to loose his arrow.
Ooh.
Okay. You were able to just having dashed, just get upon him.
I'm gonna tell him to drop his weapon.
How do you say it?
With Lightbringer right above his head and then Valor on his neck. Drop it.
And you can see that the hand that's knocked on the arrow releases, and you can see kind of palm out.
Caesar, yes,
Common? And then I'll say in Halfling. Do you speak Halfling?
He makes no reaction to this. He seems to be staring at you, probably exactly as you're staring at him. And with that, I'm going to call that
That's good.
your go. You, sir.
Really?
No. You, sir, are in a room with things. No, you're at the very end, remember?
I'm powerbomb.
Really?
Yeah, you're powerbomb.
Well, you generally do most of your turn not on your turn.
Yeah, that's exactly how Kel works.
A heavy clatter of shield smashes into you, and I need it's athletics.
Lex.
Ooh. Are you athletic?
Ooh.
I am athletic.
Actually,
For a power bottom, he is very athletic.
you've got that belt on. Should be doing some good
Plus
things.
1 to what I... No. This totally catches him off guard. He wasn't expecting a grapple at all.
It's actually not a grapple. As the shield slams
Oh, it knocks me off my feet.
into you, you kind of preparing yourself, bracing for another bite, another slice. Feel the shield as it smashes into you, and you feel your feet kind of
Shit.
just leave the ground as you hit the ground.
Yeah.
The no longer blocking the door, that shaft of light pushes in here, and you can definitively see now these two snake creatures, though not by point of comparison, because you don't know what's going on with Katarina right now. These very much have the body of a snake, the torso of a man and the head of a snake. And you can see both of them heavily armed and armored. And as you hit the ground, it having just hit.
Yeah.
It's waffles! And they both of them just
Right. Any understanding whatsoever?
nothing.
Cool.
Nothing. And you watch as the scimitar raining down from overhead. The
Yeah.
other one lurches in for a bite,
No.
and you can feel its tail kind of twisting up and over you.
Oh, fuck
Um,
me, dude.
You'll be fine. You'll get up.
We're fine.
You'll be
Got
alright.
advantage, but that's pretty trash. Oh, you have block action, don't you?
Yeah, so negates. So is this normal
That's
now?
just normal. But
Yep.
still, that was pretty trash. Well, come on, stay with the thing.
20? Yep. Alright.
I'm just gonna not.
Yeah.
Well, I'm rolling really good and really poor, so just gonna.
You know.
You know.
The scimitar rains down from overhead for 8, and the second one as it lurches in for that bite. For 13 poison damage. I'm sorry, 13 piercing damage, and I need a Constitution save.
You got this, Cal. Don't you have an aura?
Well, do you have an aura?
Don't you have an aura?
I have an
Aster
aura.
shouts. She can see, and actually at this point now,
Do
she
I just
can
see his
see that.
feet?
You can see that he's toppled on the ground, and you can see just rains of blood. You actually, for the first time, see the head, and it's like a proper. I mean, it's fast, like a
Oh.
like a
That should be
viper.
okay. 17.
17 does save. And that is going to be their go. They're feeling pretty good about their odds in there. So that's on to Aster.
I will cast
Fireball.
Fireball. Really wanna. Cal, are you okay?
How you doing in there?
I'm fine. Actually, no. I'm knocked prone. Please do not send a fireball in this location at this time. Please let me stand up first.
I will cast a hypnotic pattern in there.
There we go.
Okay.
Good old HP.
Good old HP.
What's the DC?
17.
Ooh,
That's a
Will I have to save this as well? No, is it?
Anyone who sees it.
Oh, are you gonna be tantalized?
It's wisdomous.
You got
What
it.
if they both save and Kel fails? That
Shut
would-
up.
We're not
It's already a
Shut
bit of a
up.
shit show in there. dude.
Well, I
Like,
know
it's-
you are wisdomous, aren't you? Like that's a thing you are.
Compared to intelligence.
Well, yes.
Yeah, +1 compared to -2.
You got this.
And I do have my aura, which is always my saving grace. Witness me!
Wait, are you serious?
How many 20s are you rolling in a
Crit.
single night?
You
I'm sorry.
did.
I'm sorry. You're
Uh,
rolling against me.
One
Crit master.
one of them fails.
One of them? Okay.
Well, that's better than that.
That is better than
Darn it.
for you guys.
And okay. Okay. So they are just like ruthlessly attacking him. But did
That's a perfect description.
did I hear them talk?
You could hear, one of them, which seemed to be
I like
more
potatoes.
of a barking of orders.
If only it was that mundane. It'd be like, this is pretty good.
Good job, guys.
Can I see any of their garb, or can I see them at all? Or
I mean,
just-
you've seen the scimitar raining down on Kel, a geyser of blood shooting off of his body, and then you watched as he's kind of like kicking around and fighting and doing what he can to block. You watched as one of them found purchase, just beneath the collar line of his armor, and that's the first time you saw just the flash of that snake head. So at this point, I mean, as far as you're concerned, probably there's a guy with a sword and a snake in there.
Okay. Okay. And one of them is like incapacitated.
One of them failed the hypnotic.
Can I tell which one it was?
You can't. Yeah, again, you unless they're actively attacking, you can't see. So next
Oh,
round, you'll
I don't
know
what
which
to do.
one's
Where's
still doing
Jenny?
stuff.
Is Jenny next to me?
She's slinking up behind you. So
Oh, okay.
the very bottom, she'll get to do something.
Jenny, get the other
Our
one.
bottom.
I know. Or have Kel tell you. I don't know. Kel, tell her to get the other one. Okay.
you hear that kind of echo around. In the
Aster
chamber, and
like
it's
has
like,
no
Ow.
idea what to do. I was like, okay. That's all I got. Sorry.
Cool.
I'm not going in there. I'm sorry.
You're fine. I don't expect you to go into the lion's den. You're fine.
All right, that's going to be Kel's go.
Holy fuck! I get to go.
Yep.
So in there's 2 attackers in the place with me. One has been hypnotic pattern. The other one is
Yes. And so you could see now that the one, I guess, entering the room that would have been to your right,
right.
has just kind of fallen into a stupor.
Then I'll stand up as my first action. Okay. Because fuck that.
Just so you know, that's half your movement.
Wait.
Prone, the most
No.
punishing
No.
status
No.
It is for
Say it
mobile
sounds-
characters.
effect. Even then, it's only kind of.
And then I'm going to cast Wrathful Smite on myself with my bonus action. I will then stab the fuck out of the guy who is not hypnotic pattern.
All right. Roll them.
I don't know if you want me to.
Hit
Sure you want me to?
Oh, roll.
You've
some
spent
dice.
it all.
Roll
Let's be
some
honest.
dice.
Let's be honest.
Oh no.
Don't witness me.
Oh. It's
As
the
in, like-
opposite?
Don't witness me.
Rut-row.
Don't witness
I'm
me.
glad I didn't go in there.
Don't witness me.
Don't witness me.
Oh no.
So- I don't want to do this. I just.
It was bound to happen.
There
It
was a
was-
lot of 20s.
You were getting a
coming
little
up.
stacked there, buddy. It was
A lot of
time.
20s.
For those of you wondering what happened at home, I just crit missed.
You did.
It's okay. It's okay. It's D&D. That's what happens.
Maybe,
What is it? What is the?
maybe it's a puny one.
This is a piercing.
Lunging forward to make your attack. The snake figure kind of slithering up and back further into the shadows that kind of line the broader edges of the room. And in that moment, kind of squinting into the darkness, you have a -4 on all attacks for the next round.
How far away is it from me? Has it changed?
Oh, it's adjacent. Yeah, that's great flavor.
I've already done the attack. I don't care if it's -4. I'm still going to attack with my second attack. I don't give a fuck. You think I give a fuck?
No.
Doesn't seem like he does.
Are you
I know.
fearless?
Dude, I don't feel.
Oh, that was so close.
Yeah, I know.
It was a
But
20 and it rolled over.
14. So it's a 10 on the dice. Now I'm thanks to the -4 plus 9. So we're looking at a 19.
19 will hit.
Yeah, buddy.
Do things.
Restless Fight!
It must make a wisdom saving throw.
And don't forget Jenny.
Oh, that's very good to remember. Thank you.
It saves.
Well, fine then.
Well, fine then.
It has a 6 damage plus 9. So that's 9 damage. Is it dead yet? It has 9 damage.
It seems badly injured.
Really?
It seems so fine right now.
Oh, there goes Wrathful Smite.
Oh.
It's okay. Well, Wrathful Smite has paid off way more than it should. It's a level 1 spell. It's adjacent,
It is Jason. Yep. They both are technically. Just
but what one's hypnotic pattern?
Yeah.
I use half my movement. Can I move to the doorway so that the only way to approach me is through the doorway to kind of like bottleneck him?
yeah, I mean you'll literally have to take one step back but I will say if you're in the door, like if you're wanting to be in the doorway,
Yeah.
you're basically fighting from a crouched position.
I want to go one step outside the doorway then.
Okay. So that will provoke opportunity from
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Oh, hang on. On a failed save, the creature becomes charmed for the duration. While charmed by this spell, the creature's incapacitated and has a speed of 0.
Incapacitated.
You're talking about the hypnotic pattern?
pattern.
Yeah. That one's just going like.
No,
She
on
said
a
on a failed
save.
save. Oh, which
Yeah.
he did fail. He's talking about.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
Yep.
I was there with
My
you.
brain.
Yep.
Which is going to hit. Stepping back, you watch as its reflexes are pretty lightning-y in the grand scheme of things. For 13 slashing damage.
Jesus.
As Kel steps back, ducking through, and you can see putting up what guard he can, but just that awkward movement of getting back through. You watch as a flash, a glint of steel, and you can see that kind of a spray of blood paints the front of the front of the.
Bless you. 6. Oh, I was hoping for 7.
Come on.
You could do better than that.
What's in the box? But
Are you doing okay there?
so yeah, stepping out, and you can see that probably Kel's looking a little worse for wear as he steps back through the door.
Yeah. Can I take one more step back?
Sure, I'm just gonna do another opportunity just cause.
No.
Yeah, no. At that point, you've paid your dues.
Yeah. I'll take one more step back, and
That will actually be the entirety of the group.
Yeah. and then I'll Jenny come between, and I'll have her take the dodge action.
Okay. Jenny running up, kind of, you even feel her just like slip kind of just between your legs.
Right.
And you can hear kind of snarling and just, swiping at the doorway.
Right.
You can even see now that the occasional kind of lash out from one of these snake heads as Jenny stands down.
Getting in this?
It is in that moment.
Getting
Oh, okay.
a god from the heavens.
I know.
It's Orcus.
What?
No one saw this coming.
You were distracted by those snake people. It's interesting that you say that.
Oh God.
No, but it is in that moment, kind of overhead,
A wyvern are here now.
the bright sunlight that is kind of pouring down into the broader courtyard suddenly goes black with the eclipse. As you watch, it's difficult to say precisely what this kind of massive, what initially seems like a slab,
A giant airship.
reveals itself as it draws up to be a foot. As it
Is it a
lowers
giant?
down overhead, and I mean the foot probably extends.
Is there giants?
Wait, there was that. Remember when he had those giants? But we're
Yeah,
way
this
the
is-
fuck up in the air.
This is
God.
way bigger than
And-
that.
Is this like
way bigger?
What's the seed thing that you have?
Yeah,
it
this
like
isn't
one
a
of
North
those?
Elemental. No.
The
I don't think so.
Fuck is this?
for the moment the sky eclipses. The entire courtyard falls black as this unbelievable in size, and you feel kind of the entire space shudder. In fact, a couple of the smaller hovels collapse in on themselves as that foot kind of pulling up and just kind of
Wait, keeps
you can feel
going?
this.
It just
another heavy footfall. You feel the canyon shake, and
Fuck
then
is this?
another one.
Did anybody see that?
Off?
Were they invisible?
I'm in a
footsteps?
hovel.
Into the distance. Were they invisible? They were visible.
What the fuck is going on?
Did you see anything?
Was it like the size of a strider?
That's what I was thinking.
The foot very easily would have just gone with the tempest, and the tempest. I mean, this foot was unimaginably large. And again, you kind of see the foot slam down, and the leg or appendage that is attached to it
The fuck?
carries up into the sky. I mean, to the point that vision simply does not reach given the atmosphere, and kind of goes rolling
The fuck?
footsteps.
And it just kept going?
It just kept going.
The fuck are you doing,
Was
DM?
was it wearing pants?
We're gonna keep asking
How
questions.
big was the dong?
Was it? Did it
Was it
have?
average?
Let me roll for that. Hang on.
It's average.
I'm coping.
It's Kel's version of average.
Sweet.
But that is unfortunately where we are going to have to
No.
end it. But we will be at the top of initiative
Okay.
as we.
I'm only bloodied. It's fine.
You gotta be. Well, you're
I got
all
the
like, I'm gonna
fuck
roll
out of
up
me.
in
When
there.
was
Yeah,
the last
that was-
time you were bloodied? Honestly, like
Last
You-
encounter.
you.
It happens pretty regularly.
Yeah, but you were kind of almost bloodied going in.
Yes. It's true.
So,
This is a true, like, oh fuck.
thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thank you.
This time,
Thanks.
anything you guys have for all the people at home before we sign off?
Let's find out what that
What
giant
the
thing
F
is.
is it?
I don't think his dong is that big.
Kel's convinced the dong is not that big.
I'm the power bottom of the group. Vince. You know what that is?
Thank you guys so much for joining us this time. Until next time, the world is yours.
Bye.